First at 4, the search continues in Grosse Ile for 2 missing people after their boat capsizes in the Detroit River. Plus, Governor Whitmer is set to kick off night 1 of the Democratic National Convention. We'll have a preview. Paula?
A flurry of activity over the weekend and today as a trio of bills are passed, ostensibly to help education, but do they really? I'll break down the stuff you need to know for your child.
Paula, it is nothing like what we saw on Sunday, but there are a few thunderstorms hanging around this afternoon. We'll see who's going to get those and how much longer we're going to have to wait for our next batch right now. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, 2 men, one of them a Catholic priest, are missing and presumed drowned in the Detroit River in the aftermath of a boating accident. Police say the 39-foot-long boat with as many as 9 people on board capsized Sunday near Grosse Ile. All on board were rescued, except for the boat's owner, 52-year-old Robert Childs of Grosse Ile, and 66-year-old Reverend Stephen Rooney, pastor of St. Joseph Catholic Church in Trenton. We'll have the latest on the search on Local 4 News at 5. The man wanted for murdering 4 people in Sumter Township over the weekend is in custody this afternoon. Raymond Lee Bailey turned himself into deputies in Bay County last night. Police believe Bailey murdered 2 brothers and their female cousins. He was believed to be an ex-boyfriend of one of the women. Bailey reportedly admitted to the murders in phone calls and texts. He has not yet been formally charged. We will have more on the latest developments on Local 4 News at 6. Today, the State House approved a school plan passed by the State Senate over the weekend. Here's a look at what is in that plan. First, there are no mandates for in-person classes. Second, funding will basically stay the same. The legislation defines attendance as students who are physically in class or participating virtually. So virtual learning will not have a negative impact on funding. School districts will also receive an additional $583 million. More than $50 million of that money is intended as hazard pay for teachers. Meantime, the debate continues over those return to school bills passed over the weekend. Paula Tutman shows us school officials are still looking for some clarity.
I think most educators will tell you that this is absolutely the last moment. They've been needing legislation to help them continue making plans for this school year, whatever that school year is going to look like. And as you can imagine, not everyone is happy. For months, educators say they've been waiting for legislation to help them fashion a school year that will optimize learning in the most non-optimal of environments. And today, as Lansing passes an education bill package that was announced over the weekend, some educators say they are still waiting for help, and the legislation is wholly inadequate in terms of bettering an already bad situation.
I don't think it really addresses anything that wasn't already in place without this legislation.
Much of the bills address backroom accounting operations and don't necessarily affect current district plans. But according to Dr. Randy Liepa, superintendent of Wayne RESA, which is Wayne County Schools, what the bills manage to do is keep educators mired in paperwork instead of mired in making education count by mandating a 30-day cycle of accountability in terms of what students are learning, what teachers are teaching, and who is not showing up for any of it.
We have some frustration with this because we feel it's a variety of new requirements when really all we were asking for were some relief in areas of uncertainty.
Teachers are assessing and reassessing and benchmarking kids all over the place, right? What are we testing really in times of COVID-19?
You know, in this crisis, obviously a lot has been thrown out the window, but we still need some level of accountability.
Schools doing distance education will essentially have the same requirements as schools in person. You need to have two-way interactions per student each week. It's a fairly low bar, but that is intentional.
What still has not been adequately addressed is the budget.
We're still looking at a $1.1 billion shortfall at the state level. School districts are still looking at a significant shortfall in their funding for next year. We need to have that particular issue addressed.
But Paula Herbart, president of the MEA, which represents the majority of teachers in the state, says Lansing has done some things right and is at the very least keeping students heads above water by not damaging education in ways that can't be recovered when COVID is eventually behind us.
Providing what will keep us afloat for a year might be the only thing that will be the right thing for our students.
And so that package of bills now has a date with the desk of the governor. Once she signs them into law, it is done. By the way, stay with me. Coming up at 5, we're going to take a look at whether or not this school year is truly going to count, despite all of the efforts of these educators. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, Paula, thank you. And if you'd like more information about the plan in your district or any other district, our team at Click on Detroit has compiled a list of every school district in Metro Detroit and their plans for the new school year. You can find it at the top of the Return to School page at clickondetroit.com. In Decision 2020, today is the start of the Democratic National Convention. Instead of a packed arena in Milwaukee, it will be held almost entirely online. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is one of the selected people who will kick off tonight's convention. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom. And Kim, this is shaping up to be a convention unlike any we've ever seen.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Yes, from virtual setups across the country this week, the party will nominate and celebrate its 2020 ticket, former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris. The opening night theme, We the People, will lead into an overall unity theme this week for the Democrats. The party aims to highlight its most pressing agenda items, from fighting COVID-19 to racial disparities. Former First Lady Michelle Obama will be the featured speaker tonight. Other speakers include Senators Bernie Sanders and Amy Klobuchar. Governor Whitmer told CNN what she expects to be talking about.
I'm going to talk a little bit about unity. I'm going to talk a little bit about the frontliners, people that have put their own health at risk to take care of the rest of us throughout COVID-19. And so those are the two primary things that I'll be talking about during my time on the stage.
And Senator Kamala Harris accepts the vice presidential nomination Wednesday. A new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll shows Joe Biden with a 9-point lead over President Trump. Now, the Democratic National Convention will run through Thursday, when the presumptive presidential nominee, Joe Biden, is set to speak. You can watch live coverage of the convention all week here on Local 4. Meanwhile, the Republican National Convention will take place next week, and we will be covering that as well. Karen, let's send it back to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kim. Time now for our first look at our forecast on a beautiful Monday. What's going on, Ben?
A Monday afternoon to you, Karen. It is, for the most part, dry, but there are a couple rogue thunderstorms out there on Storm Tracker 4. And the getting richer here. Some of the spots that picked up almost 2 to 3 inches. Actually, we'll back up and show you that the area that we're watching there is that southern Sanilac County. That's where we saw most of the thunderstorms that moved through on Sunday. 2 inches plus of rainfall in that area. Anything that's out there is going to fade as we get closer to sunset tonight. So still a couple around there at 6 o'clock. 8 o'clock we should be dry and temperatures falling into the 60s. Humidity's not bad as we speak, but it is going to get lower this week. So we'll take a look at that and see also some warmer temperatures in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. Now to the latest on coronavirus here in Michigan. Right now, there is a total of over 93,000 cases across the state, with 465 new cases in the last day. The death toll from the virus currently sits at more than 6,000, with 1 death in the last 24 hours. Now, on a positive note, more than 67,000 people in Michigan have recovered. Relatively small but vocal group of activists protested outside of 36th District Court in Detroit today, angry over the resumption of eviction hearings. A moratorium on evictions ended this weekend, and the court is once again conducting hearings. The group, calling itself Detroit Eviction Defense, says affordable housing is a right, and eviction in this time of a pandemic is wrong. The city of Detroit recently added new federal funds for renters facing eviction and offers free legal defense help. There's a new tool available in the effort to test for the coronavirus. It is a saliva test. The Food and Drug Administration has given emergency use authorization to a saliva test developed by the Yale School of Public Health. It's been tested on NBA players in their bubble environment. Research found the COVID-19 virus remains stable in saliva for prolonged periods in warm temperatures. Saliva testing is less invasive than other testing forms, and it is cheaper. It costs about $10 per test. We'll have more on the new COVID-19 saliva test coming up at 5. The United States Postal Service has become a hot political issue in this presidential election year. Here are the very latest developments this Monday afternoon. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is calling the House back from vacation this week to vote on a bill to prohibit any changes in post office operations. The Postal Service has told states it might not be able to deliver absentee ballots in time. This afternoon, several New York politicians filed suit to maintain funding for the post office. Still to come, first at 4, the coronavirus pandemic is causing a major shortage that could affect your dinner plans. We'll have those details coming up. Plus, a look at stories making headlines across America, including fire crews help rescue drivers stuck in the middle of a wildfire. But first, a tense standoff after 3 police officers are shot in Texas.
Does the pandemic mean the end of the business suit for men and women?
He needs to get dressed.